Hey guys, we are trying to find somebody to fill in. So we had somebody. We had somebody that was going to come on tonight, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. So anyhow, they're MIA. So we're just going to kind of go off the hip with it. All right. So hey there, three dogs. How you doing? Um, So hang on one second. I'm trying to find somebody desperately to fill in. So let me see if I can find somebody to fill in. All right. If we can, we'll get it filled in. So anyhow, let me see if I can. I'm trying to find some of my YouTuber buddies, see if any of them, or even the Instagram people, to see if we can get somebody to fill in for this. I don't know why this person didn't show up, but it'll be all right. We'll find somebody. If not, we'll just shoot the breeze. Talk to you guys. All right. Tell you how my season's going. Right? And it sucks. So let me see here. Dun, 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 dun. Trying to work it out. So we'll see if we can get some of them, one of them, maybe to join us. Um, it's hard to get them right on the fly, you know what I mean? Because, you know, but maybe somebody is not doing anything and they'll fill in for us. So while we're waiting, why don't y'all comment down below and tell us how your season's been going, huh? Tell us how everything's going in the garden. We'll just kind of start it with that. All right, y'all. I don't like not being prepared and getting caught off guard like that and stuff, but things happen. You know, things happen. So oh, I will tell you this though. We have a affiliate link now with Hatching Time. We have an affiliate link with Hatching Time now. So if you guys are interested in hatching your own chicks, you know, quail, guinea, chickens, ducks, geese, any of that, okay? We have a affiliate link. All right, guys, and you all can buy on Hatching Time. All right, and it'll help us out. All right, and maybe I think maybe even give you guys something off. Let me see here, because I just did get the email before I come in here. I just found out that we got the email that we got approved for it. Really cool, man. Because I didn't think we was going to get approved. I did not think we would get approved because we don't have a very massive following yet. But you know, thank God we got it. So pretty happy about that. Let me see here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So I'll type in the. Let me see here. So let me see. Get products. Get share. Affiliate coupon. All right. So from what I can tell, I'm gonna write the affiliate coupon code in the chat if you guys want to see it here. So it is Y. Oh crap. Let's see Y. 6MVK. All right. 1C5AL 6MVKY. Okay, there it is. Right here is the affiliate link, or the coupon. That is the coupon code. Code to, oh, come on. What's going on here? Coupon code to hatch time is IC5AL MV YC5ALNVKYAF. Okay, there you go. All right, so there is the Hatch Time coupon code. If you guys want to save some money, that right there is one way that that you guys can save some money, and it also helps us, because we make a small 5% off of whatever you guys do. So that would help support the channel. And like I said, if you're looking to anything to do with birds, okay, so let's just kind of do that, like, while we're waiting here. All right, let's go over what they have there on Hatch Time. Hatch Time. All right, so let's see. Hang on a minute, because I gotta answer my buddy here. All right, so coupon code Hatch Time, got that posted up. We hopefully we might have somebody to come on with us. So just give me a minute. Would you? I don't know how to do that while I'm live streaming, but maybe I can get my wife to in a second. Whenever she comes, let me see if I can get my wife to do it whenever she comes in. She's outside right now, and then when she comes in, I'll get her to do that. Yeah, the Hatch Time site. Yep. Yeah, I'll get it as soon as she comes in. I'll try to get that put up. Or if one of you guys can find it for me that are in the chat right now, that's what it looks like. Let me turn that light off. I don't know if it worked any better or not. No, it didn't. It's not working. Oh well. Anyhow, it's you can see there's like there we go. It's not so bad there. See it? That's what it looks like. Just type in Google search for Hatch Time and it'll pop it up. I just don't know how to do it on here without messing up the live stream and stuff. But they got feather pluckers. There's feather pluckers. There's different brooders. Let me see here. You got hatching and egg supplies, chicken brooders and growing, breeding pen and nesting boxes, backyard supplies, processing and transporting, starter kits and gifts and more. There's tons of products on there, and they're really good products, guys. They really are. So if you guys are wanting to do anything, let me see here. So like I said, there's tons of products. You know, the chicken pluckers. The brooding stuff is really interesting. Like there's chicken brooders, there's grow out pens and starter kits and stuff. Just a lot of different things that are really, really nice. You know, they make you know, this 9.5 chicken brooder and the 15-inch chicken brooder. You guys can see them here, and they got the waterers and everything. Like it's an actual system. You know, so if you guys can see that there. It's like an actual system. Everything's there. It's got feed trays, the waterers, everything. So yeah, you can go there. Like I said, I know that their stuff is good. And you know, this will be one of the few that when you guys buy stuff, it'll kick us back money, because the majority of the stuff that we promote here on the channel, we do not get kickbacks from. The majority of it, I solely get products, review them, test them, use them, whatever, promote them, and I don't get any kickbacks off of them. So this will be one of the few. I think this will be the third one that we actually get any kickbacks from. And guys, when it's only 5%, it takes a long time to get any money made. So, you know, it's not making bank, trust me. But thought you guys might want to know that if you're looking for stuff for like quail waterers and things like that, because we're going to have to buy some quail waterers outside, because we're growing that more and more and more. We're going to need that. So we're going to be buying some quail waterers and stuff, setting up in there. Really cool little red trays, right? And then they just stick their beak in there, and it taps this little lever inside of there, and it makes water come out, and they drink it out of that. It also saves water, because then they can't knock it over or get it dirty and all that stuff. What do you want? You want out? Let me show you. Ain't they pretty? Okay. Here's a real pretty one. Come here, you. Check that one out. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. That's a real pretty one. Easy. Yeah, so lots of pretty ones. Oh, you little devil. These are all right. They fly out of there all the time. They keep a thing over them. that turned into a pretty cool chicken brooder, but quail brooder. Anyways, well, hello there, Patricia Rivas. How are you doing? So let's just kind of go through who all we got in here. So we've got Speak Life Gardening and Homestead and Permaculture in here. We've got Patricia Rivas in here. We've got 3 dogs and 2 birds, 1 Lori in here. Yeah, we definitely had to run away. They run away all the time, and I'm pretty sure there's one somewhere here in the floor, because you keep hearing that one call. He's somewhere in the floor, I guarantee it. Because that's the only time they start making that noise. Yep, there he is. Hang on a minute. He's under here. See, it's the only time they make noise is when they're runaways. So there they are. That's a pretty one too. Check that one out. Hey. See how pretty they are? Tons of different colors on these things.
They bite good too.
They bite good.
Yeah, they think my fingers are.
But yeah. Yeah, so quail are pretty cool. I tell you what, I like quail, and here's why. I've told everybody this, and I'll tell you guys this, since we're just kind of kicking it all here without much to talk about. The reason why I like the quail is right here. So if you buy, let's say, broilers, right? Everybody knows what a broiler chicken is, right? So say you go buy a broiler, and guys, if you don't care, share this live stream out because we're going to try to make it as interesting as possible. We're going to talk about, since we don't have anybody coming tonight, we're going to talk about the ups and downs of gardening. So we'll just do that. But let's talk about these birds real fast. So you get a broiler, you pay on average, here at Royal King, they're as high. They start between $250 and go all the way up to $299. Just depends on when you get them. Sometimes you can get them for as low as 50 cents if they've had the broilers for 2 weeks or whatever, right? Yes, they are great eating. They're awesome to eat. The quail are, but the broilers. So you're going to buy these birds, right? At majority of the time, people are going to pay $250 to $299 per bird. Now it takes 6 to 8 weeks to raise that bird out. You will have fed that bird at least 150 or 140 pound bag of meat bird crumble in that week, right? Or in that 6 to 8 weeks, right? And so meat bird crumbles are, I think, $16 or something like that. So you're at roughly, 18 to $20 in a bird, right? Excuse me, depending on where you're at, okay? Because some places are higher than here. So you're anywhere, like I said, $18 to $20 for one bird. All right. Now, it's great that you know what that bird ate. It's great that you know how it was raised and all that. That's wonderful stuff. But it's not price effective. It's not going to be an efficient way to do it, especially if you're on 1 acre. Because on 1 acre, you don't have the room to take the chicken tractor and continuously move multiple chicken tractors. Let's say majority of the time people get 20 to 30 broilers at a time, right? So you got 20 to 30 broilers at a time. You put them 10 to 15 birds per tractor. You're dragging this tractor around. You need at least 1 acre of land just for them birds to eat around on and munch around on, right? That way it cuts your feed bill cost on the meat bird crumbles. If you don't have that, you still are going to have to do something, right? You still have to try to mitigate the cost of the meat bird crumbles. So you try to go get, local, food that people's throwing away at restaurants, stores, things like that. And you try to incorporate that into the meal with the meat bird crumbles to try to cut that cost down. You're still, because I've did the math on this when we've raised them the several times that we have, we're at, $18 to $20 a bird. Where is the cost effectiveness at? It's just not there, right? You're deep into these birds now. Maybe if I had an acre just to pull the tractor along, they might be able to save me some money, but we're still going to have to, buy meat bird crumbles because they're not going to get big off of the grass alone. Okay. And the bugs and stuff, they're just not going to. You're still going to have to give them supplemental feed from meat bird crumbles in order to get them big like you want to fast, right? Because I've also tried not giving them meat bird crumbles like normal, right? Just kind of like, okay, let you go to the woods, let you eat what's in the woods, let you eat the grass and whatever, and give you a small amount of meat bird crumbles every day. And it don't work that way. They just don't get big enough fast enough to butcher them fast, right? In that 6 to 8 week time period. And so you're deep into these birds by this time, right? And that's if all 20 or 30 make it to the end, because you do have, a washout rate that some of them they don't make it, right? That's just part of farming, part of homesteading. Things will not make it, whether it's birds, plants, goats, pigs, sheep, donkeys, I don't care what it is. You're going to experience loss homesteading and farming. All right, so let's say though all 20 or 30 make it or whatever. You still have that debt of all them birds. Now, yeah, you might be able to go to the store and, chicken's high in the store. It is, it's very high, but you're not paying $18 to $20 per bird, right? So I started looking at this and I started doing this math and I said, what would be more cost effective and efficient? And quail are that answer. Quail is the answer to the homesteader, especially the small homesteader, the 1 acre homesteader, the 3/4 or half acre homesteader, right? Quail is the answer to you having a meat source and an egg source that is going to be budget friendly. So you buy these quail. Now the quail cost more per bird. They cost $5.99 to $7.99 per bird. All right, at Rural King. You got to give them, when they get older, you got to give them, like game bird feed and stuff like that, right? More higher protein is what they're looking for. But here's the thing. In that 6 to 8 week time period that it took my broilers to get big to butcher, that's all they're good for is butchering. My quail, however, I can get eggs, I can get meat, and I can get more quail. I can't get more Cornish cross. I can't get more of the broiler. They will not produce. In fact, the ones that we had that did get bred by an Americana and hatched out, every one of those birds within the first 48 hours died. The Cornish cross that was bred, laid eggs, and hatched out in our incubators, every one of them died within the first 48 hours. They were humongous chicks, big yellow chicks. We knew what they were. We put the hens and the Americana rooster together. We hatched them out. They all died within 48 hours. They are not a bird that is going to be able to produce anything. They themselves cannot. The roosters and the hens have a hard time breeding because we had a Cornish cross rooster and a hen, and they tried to breed, and I don't think he ever got her bred. In fact, the eggs that we kept off of her, they just didn't seem fertile. If they were, I don't know what happened, but if he did fertilize them, I don't know what happened because none of them ever showed any fertilization when we would candle the eggs. And so you got that time period of 6 to 8 weeks. You're growing these birds out. The only thing they're good for is butchering because anything after that, their eggs are not viable eggs. They may produce a chick, but the chick will die. Okay. Even though it's crossed out with an Americana or whatever, right? It just will not, they're not viable. They won't make it. They're not strong chickens. All right. So the chicks die. So they're no good. The only thing they're good for is the butchering part. Whereas my quail grow out in 6 to 8 weeks. Quail will produce eggs in 6 to 8 weeks. They're sexually mature in that 6 to 8 weeks. Of course, that's why they're giving you eggs. All right. I can butcher them at 6 to 8 weeks. And my feed cost for 20 of them is the same as one meat bird. One bag of feed, 150-pound bag of feed for that 6 to 8 weeks, 20 of them raised out. They don't eat much. They just don't eat that much feed. And especially if you're giving them good, high protein feed, they just don't eat that much feed. All right. So you got 20 of them versus one. So there's that part. Their eggs are more nutritious than chicken eggs. All right. And you guys can look this up. All right. I've did some research on it. So the eggs are more nutritious. They're smaller, of course, but they're more nutritious. There's tons of different ways you can use their eggs and do stuff with their eggs. Their meat is good quality meat. Now you don't get a lot of it, but you do get enough, right? It's kind of like eating a dove, right? I don't know if any of you guys eat doves, but I've got a video on how you clean and process a dove. All right, and you guys can check that video out. And people do buy them. Yes, Speak Life. People do buy them. So there is a market for these. There is a pretty decent sized market, especially for these Courtniks. All right, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but these ones behind me, we bought 8 of them. 6 of the 8 made it. Okay, there was 3 boys, 3 girls. Out of that 3 boys and 3 girls, just the other night, I released 6 or 7 out of the first batch of quails that we hatched here from those 6, from the original 6. 3 of those was males. 3 of them or 4 of them was females. There might have been 7 of them. I think there was 4 males or 4 females, 3 males. So we got 3 more males, 4 more females, right? We have a box back here full of 30 more of these quails, okay? And we've only had them since April, I think, right? So like April. So April, we have, and then we've got a basket. Well, we have the incubator full with 30 more eggs. We have another incubator full with more. I don't know how many is in that one because I can't see them, but that one over there's got 30 more in that one. So by 6-month time period, I will have made my money back on the quail, ate the quail, and stored eggs or sold hatching eggs or whatever, right? Sold eggs to eat, okay, whatever. So definitely quail is far better than the meat birds for just now. If you're looking for volume, like there's no, it's going to take probably 10 or 15 of these quail at full size. They're a lot bigger than these little things back here, but at full size, probably take, I don't know, maybe not 10. How many do you think? Probably 5 to 8 quail to make a full grown broiler chicken. Okay. This is like 5 to 8, right? Depending on how big that broiler got. So you can see where, you're going to save money. You're more cost effective and efficient, and you're getting your money's worth because now you bought the bird one time. You bought those birds one time, and now you can continue to have your own flock of birds for as long as you want. They are very good producers, very good. If I would have known this in 2020 when I started buying chickens again, we've had chickens for a long time, but then in 2019, when my son Malachi was born, we got rid of everything. If you would have told me in 2020 not to buy the production reds, not to buy the Americanas, and to only go and buy the quail, I would have looked at you and said, why? If you would have told me the reasons why that I just told you just now, I would have easily went and bought a bunch of quail. Seriously. It had quail before. We had bob whites. Bob whites did well, but for whatever reason, they don't seem to be as hardy as these things back here, these Courtniks or whatever they're called. So maybe I just had a bad batch of them, okay? But these Courtniks here, they are done phenomenal. All right, like I said, we started out with 8. We got 6 that lived, 3 males, 3 females. They're easily to tell which ones are which. You press on their vent, foam comes out, okay? And if foam comes out, that is a male secreting his sperm, okay? Or a concoction of foam and sperm together, because some people will say, well, that's not the sperm, but it's the delivery system for the sperm. So, whatever. But yeah, so definitely the quail is a real solution to not only the small homesteader, but the large homesteader, right? It just saves money and stuff. Right now, if you're a really big homestead, sure, chickens are a great way to go. If you've got acres upon acres, yeah, chickens will work for you because you can use those chicken tractors and all that land, to kind of supplement that feed, right? But if you don't have a lot of land to use chicken tractors, acres upon acres for chicken tractors, like Joe Salatin or somebody, you're going to have to look for a different option, and I really believe that different option is going to be the quail. And like I said, the eggs are phenomenal. We love the eggs. The birds themselves taste good, and they're really, really, really great producers. I can't say enough about them. I really cannot say enough about them. How much room would I need, and what would the setup look like? Okay, so I do have a video on that. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so if you're going to do it from the beginning, you're going to go buy these from the store, all right, or buy hatching eggs from someone, or like on eBay or something like that. You're going to need, just a little small box like this. Okay, this is, I don't know, probably 18 inches wide here. Okay, this box is. It's 18 by 18. It's what our baby chicks came in, the Polish chicks, and we just put them in there. And there's 30 of them in there, and there is plenty of room in there. Now, they will outgrow that in about 3 weeks. So next week we'll have to move these out of there, and we'll put them into a pretty big, container, a big tote, right? And that'll last them up until they're ready to go out to the coop. the coop that you guys can see, I built out there, I think in June. I think I built that coop in June in the building. You guys can see the video where I done that at. Yeah, it was real simple. I just built a 4x4 by 8 foot tall. It's 4 foot wide by 4 foot wide by 8 foot tall. I built that, and it's working great. They got plenty of vertical room. They got plenty of vertical room. They got plenty of room in the ground. Now I am going to put an addition onto that. We're going to, this fall, when everything kind of calms down, probably around the end of October, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to make it wider. I'm going to make another addition. So the addition will be 3 foot wide instead of 4 foot, because I'm going to need room for my door to open up. But I'll make it 3 foot wide. It'll be 8 foot tall. And I think the rest of that building width will be 8 to 10 foot, somewhere around in there. So they'll have a lot of room. We'll be able to have quite a few birds. And then if I really want to get down to it, I can make a double decker. I can just double that. I can just cut it in half. So it'll be a 4 foot tall by 4 foot wide by 4 foot wide. And then the other one will be 3 foot wide by 4 foot tall by 8 to 10 foot long. Right. And I can have a top and bottom in there if I so choose. So you guys can do that too. They don't take a lot of room, guys. They really don't. You guys can see other guys that are other people, other channels who are raising quail. They put them in these like little, like 12 to 18 inch wide, cages, and they're forever long, 10, 12 foot long, whatever. And that's all they're in. They're like 1 to 1.5 foot by 1.5 foot boxes, and they're just really long. They put them in there and they do really well. So, they don't need a lot of room. I like to let them have a lot of room, because I like to go in there and sit on the center block and just let them chill, because our quail are very tame. They're not like a lot of other quail. These people who have these quail, we handle them, we pet them, we play with them and everything. And so they're like puppy dog tame, but to each their own. Awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, definitely. Please check out that video. Cause it's a lot of fun. A lot of people don't know how that you can clean a dove that quick. It's very, very simple, to clean a dove up. YouTube don't like that kind of stuff, but I want to share that with you guys, because I believe that's how we all learn. Right. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't have thought to clean a quail that quick. I mean, it's literally like 2 minutes, you're done. Let me keep on checking up here in the comments, because I'm pretty far behind here and I don't want to miss anybody. Oh no, you had an aborted pumpkin. That sucks. I'm sorry about that, Lori. They are very great eating, Patricia Rivas. They are very, very good eating. So yes, people do buy them. There's a great market for them. Speak Life. I already answered how much room. Yeah, we don't have a lot of land either, especially whenever I take up, over half of the land to grow on. We don't have anything left. So it's very, very hard. Meat bird eggs. We didn't eat. If you're asking about the meat bird eggs, we didn't eat the meat bird eggs. They're not good, but the quail eggs are very good. But we didn't eat the meat bird ones. I don't know that they would be. I would say they probably taste like a chicken egg, but I don't know. It was just weird. I don't know that I'd eat one, because they were not viable eggs even when they were bred. So I would say they might not taste very good either. But like I said, I don't know. So the eggs are, they're not creamy like a duck egg. They're kind of like the chicken egg, but they do have a different taste, and it's not a bad taste. It's Hey Jaden, how would you describe the quail egg taste?
Similar to a chicken egg.
Right, I done said that.
But it has a little something different.
Right, it does have something different, but it's not bad. I mean, what would you say that different taste is?
I wouldn't say sweet, but it's more towards the lines of a little bit sweeter.
Yeah. I guess it's all right. Yeah, so it's kind of like a sweet-ish kind of taste. If an egg can be sweet, that's kind of a good way to explain it, Jay. The meat though is very good. I kind of think it's kind of like dove a little bit, take a breast off of one and or the whole thing. They don't have much for drum legs, but you can take the whole thing if you want, but take the breast of it, shove a jalapeno in there, right? DC the jalapeno, shove it up in there, wrap it in, or hollow the jalapeno out, fill it full of cream cheese and bacon bits, shove it in the cavity, or just wrap the breast around that, and then take bacon and wrap around the entire thing and grill it up. And you talk about phenomenal. That thing is, oh yeah, real good. So we like it like that. And you can fry them, you can bake them, but it's really good. It is very, very good. Let me see how many could live in a 8 by 5-ish, 7 feet high. I mean, I've got how many's out there right now, honey? Where'd she go?
Fanny.
I think there's 13 or so out there right now. There might be more. I can't tell you for sure. But I got a video here. Hang on a minute. Let me see. I ain't posted it yet. We've been without power. I didn't even know that we were going to have power. Power finally did come on about 4:30 or 5, somewhere around there. We've been without power since 6 o'clock last night when that bad storm come through and ripped everything apart. So I haven't really been able to post a lot because everything I've tried to post is just couldn't load. Even though I was doing it on my phone. So let me see here. I'll see if, I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh, I don't want Siri.
Getting ready to come out here in another 2 weeks or 3. Goodness. Man, oh man.
There's several in there. They're
I hear you, big boy.
They're back behind that crate, which is their little hut. They're up on the wood log area. They're everywhere in there. You just gotta kind of look and see. It's hard to see it on there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that I can see in that video. And there's the original 6 that I know was in there, and then however many we put in there the other night. I think we put in 3 and 4, but seems like we may have put 4 and 4. I can't remember. So there might be upwards of, let's see, 13 to 14 birds in there. So, yeah, so I mean, you could, and there's plenty of room for more in there if you wanted to put more in there. These 30 right here will go in there. And they'll have, like I said, they'll be able to fly up top and stuff. They'll only come down if they eat, and they just kind of do whatever they want to do. I've seen people really cram them in there really, really tight, and we're not going to do that. We'll get rid of some of these here. We're going to start culling the males. So the males, when they get, ready to eat, those right there will be ready to eat in a couple more weeks or so, I'd say. So we'll start culling them out. We'll cull the males out of here or sell the males. We'll keep all the females, as many as possible. So there's that. So, I mean, you could fit a fair amount in a 8 by 5 by 7 foot high space. I mean, you could, I wouldn't be one bit scared to stick 30 or 40 in that kind of space. You're going to get a lot of eggs really fast and stuff. And like I said, you're going to get to where you're like, oh, I want quail tonight. You go out there, you grab a quail, do its thing and clean it and bring it inside and eat 4 or 5 of them that evening. You know what I mean? For your family. It's the freshest way to do it. You don't have to worry about freezing them and storing them that's another great thing to them. You can keep them alive and eat them fresh. You don't have to worry about, oh, well, they're 6 to 8 weeks old. I've got to process them. Then I've got to buy an extra cooler to store 30 of these birds all at one time, right? You just don't have to do it. You can say, oh, I feel like eating quail tonight. Go out there and do your thing, bring some quail in, cleaned up, wash it off, and cook it. So there's that plus to it as well. So let me see. Hey, Eric, how you doing, Eric Hill? Glad you come in tonight, man. Hey, if you don't care, everybody, if you don't mind, share the video out. I really appreciate it. It really helps me. We're trying to build the channel. We're trying to slowly move away and pivot from the giant growing. Not that we're going to stop not that we're going to stop growing giants, just that we're going to try to live up to our namesake, which is homesteading, because we do a ton of homesteading, and really the only thing that we're known for is giant growing. And don't want to just be known for that, right? So want to be known for what we actually do here. So please, if y'all don't care, hit that thumbs up, share the video and stuff. It really helps us out a ton, guys, a ton. Let's see here. Hey, Brick Sullivan, thank you for coming over. I appreciate it. Prepper Nurse One is a great guy. Hopefully we'll be doing quite a few videos in the future together. So I really like him. He's a really good dude. He's been a real good guy to me since I've known him. So yeah, so thanks for coming over from his channel. Could you compare the meat taste to chicken and turkey, please? It's not really like chicken, and it's not really like turkey. Maybe like the dark meat of a turkey in a way, in a little bit of a way, but not really. You would tell the distinct difference between the two. Like if you were to eat dark turkey meat and quail meat, there would be this similarity, but you would still know the difference, unless you didn't know, right? Like if somebody said, "Oh, this is turkey," you'd say, "Oh, okay," right? But if you said this is quail, this is turkey, you could tell a distinct difference between the two. They're more of like a redder meat. You know what I mean? Like quail meat. Quail meat's red. Duck meat's red, right? So you're going to have that red meat. All right. So if you like duck meat, goose or something like that, it's similar in that way. All right. So hopefully that'll help. Yeah, I understand. So they can live before they're not viable to eat. Yeah. So like as far as eating them, say only as long. How long can they live before they're not? There's I don't think there's a really like a time limit on them not being viable to eat. It'd be kind of like a chicken, like multi-purpose chickens who lay eggs and also can be meat birds. A lot of these people will say, okay, we'll let our hens lay for 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, whatever, like to the 2 to 3 year mark. Okay. And then because egg production will start to drop, they'll butcher those hens and eat them. And there's nothing wrong with the hens, right? So it's kind of the same thing with the quail. Now our quail aren't really super old, right? But from what I've kind of come to understand through research, you let them lay, let them do their thing, right? And as they get older, progressively get older, you can just butcher them and eat them as well, right? Like most people will cull the males and eat the males, save the females because they can lay eggs for obvious reasons. You want that. And then as they get older and egg production drops, you can just start picking your older ones out, and they're going to be, I would say there's going to be those telltale signs of which ones are older, more progressed, right? So, but at the rate that they go at 6 to 8 weeks, you're only going to have that 6 to 8 weeks difference between your first year birds, right? Like there's going to be that 6 to 8 weeks difference every 2 months, basically every month and a half to 2 months, and so I would say what I would do is raise them out, and your 2-year-old birds, right? You can butcher those 2-year-old birds, and then you would have that whole next flock coming up that you would be able to distinguish from, right? That would probably either had started laying, a couple months prior, and or getting ready to lay, right? So there's that, that way you can just like knock out a whole 2 years worth of quail if you wanted to. But I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to say, okay, we want quail. Let's go out here and eat some, do our thing, bring them in and eat them. If we did that, let's say we get, a mass of them of I don't know, 200 of them, right? We could go out there easily, as many as we're hatching out and continuously breeding. We could easily do that once a week. Once we hit 200, we could easily eat, quail once a week. And at probably 2 to 3 quail for me, 2 to 3 quail for my wife, and, 1 to 2 per kid. I mean, it'd be all right. I think you'd still be fine because they're just so fast producing. Right. Like, unless you didn't know. Yeah. Then if you didn't know what you ate, you wouldn't care. But as soon as we tell you you're eating possum tenders, you are now puking, right? So I have to tell y'all about the story about that. There's a guy that I worked with, used to eat possum tenders and yard greens. His name was Charlie, and I called him Gargamel because he kind of looked like Gargamel off the Smurfs. Loved the guy. He was a great old fella. Loved him. He was always joking and busting my balls and stuff. But anyways, great guy. So anyways, we are talking one day, and he comes up at dinner and he's like, "You want some possum tenders and yard greens?" And I'm like, What did you say? Because I mean, we had we had this stuff around here when I was a kid called roadkill. It was chips and soda pop and stuff, and it was literally named roadkill. And so I'm thinking he's joking with me, right? And he's like, "No, I got some possum tenders and yard greens if you want some." I'm like, I don't know that I want any possum tenders and yard greens, but thanks. And then I said, "You ain't eating that stuff. Get out of here." And he was like, yeah, we're eating it. So I didn't believe him. But one day he brought possum tenders and yard greens, and I know exactly what it was because it was a possum and yard greens, dandelion yard greens. So yeah, he wasn't lying when he said he's eating possum tenders and yard greens. So no, you're good. Ask all the questions you want. Speak life. That is how we learn. I don't care to answer all the questions you guys got. If any of you guys got questions in the chat, feel free to ask all the questions you want because I will answer every one of them. Let's see. I don't have any butchering videos for the quail yet, but as soon as we get ready to start butchering them regularly, I will get you a video out. So it's basically, if you watch the dove video, it's going to be the exact same thing. The exact same thing as the quail video. You'll butcher them the exact same way.
A lot of people prefer to soak them in brine for a few days in the fridge before eating them.
Yes, a lot of people will recommend soaking them in brine for a few days. Do whatever you want. A lot of people will also recommend taking a pair of scissors and the head. I don't know, but I kind of feel sorry for them. I ain't going to stick them in a guillotine and, so it's just real quick, easy, fast, and simple for me. I just, knock them out or crush their head or something. Yeah, you probably can't say these things on YouTube. You get in trouble. But anyhow, it's very quick and easy, right? But I just feel bad for taking a pair of loppers because it just I don't know, man. I just don't know, man. I don't want my head cut off. It's something I've always been kind of timid about, man. When I was over in Iraq, I was always, Lord, just don't let nobody capture me and cut my head off. Right. I just, because in my mind, your head is probably still alive, detached from your body. And you're probably looking at everything, and sitting there going, I'm dead. I can't speak. I can't do anything. My head's alive. And we're going to black out here in any minute. I don't know if that's how it is or not, but in my mind, that's how it is. And it just sounds horrible to me. So I just can't do that to an animal. But anyhow, that went down a rabbit hole quick. Yeah, you can kill it, grill it. It tastes great, Let's see. Yeah, thanks, Lori. I try to help everybody. That's part of what I like to do here on the channel. That is another reason why I made it. So for you guys who don't know why I made the channel, so in 2020, I attempted to grow some giant pumpkins from some seeds that I bought on Amazon. That was a failure because the seeds just did not have the genetic capability to grow like that. But I learned a lot. I learned a ton that season. It helped me to grow 1,016-pound pumpkin, my first actual season growing, and another pumpkin that had reached over 1,000. Excuse me, and then a 900-pounder. Excuse me, and tons of other pumpkins. 400 and 500 pounds that season, and so I learned a lot in 2020. And at the end of 2020, I was starting to kick around the idea, about doing a YouTube channel, because what I had found was there was a lot of information, yes, but there was a huge gap in the information. All right. And why people do certain things and stuff and all that. And so, I wanted to make sure that I filled that gap, of information that wasn't in the videos that I was watching. And that's with a lot of things. And so you'll notice when I make a video or talk about something, I try to fill the voids where I have seen so many other content creators miss, right? It's almost like they perpetually say the same thing without meaning to. Now, some of them may mean to, and I don't know, right? I'm not going to assume, but it seems like a lot of them just, hit the high notes and that's it. And they kind of miss the rest of it. And so I wanted to fill that void and make sure that when I posted a video that people understood why I was doing something, how I was doing it, and everything that surrounded that, right? What it looked like actually doing it, right? And so I spent all of 2021 and the majority of 2022 making sure you guys had all the information you needed to grow a giant pumpkin, to grow a giant anything that I grew. Right now, 2021, I grew mostly just giant pumpkins and some other giants I played around with, but the majority of it was just giant pumpkin growing. So if you go back to my 2021 videos, you're going to see hour-long videos, but those hour-long videos are explaining to you exactly why you got to do something or how you do it or whatever, right? Now, there are some things in there because I was learning how to make content. I was learning how to be a content creator. And so there's some things in there that just wasn't necessary or whatever, right? But I just kind of used it for whatever reason, okay? Now, I have since tried to smooth that and make it more aerodynamic to where we get more toward the point quicker, so you guys aren't spending an hour watching something, because I know your attention span, if it's like mine, you got about 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes it's even shorter than that, right? And so I try to make sure no longer than 30 minutes, and I try to keep them around 12 minutes, maybe 15, somewhere around in there, but no longer than 30, so that I can make sure you guys get all the information you need. But again, if anybody has questions, I always want to answer the questions, because that is the basis of my channel. That is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure you guys got all the information you needed to be successful growers, successful homesteaders, whatever it is. And that's why I like doing these live streams with guests, because the guests are what really helps it, right? Because you get not just my experience, but you get another experience, and then we get to have a conversation that you guys get to listen to about how we do things and why we do things, right? And so I think it just really, really helps, to do these live streams and stuff. But again, like I said, the reason why I started doing them was to make sure you guys got all the information as possible. Let me see here. Don't say seeds. I'm addicted. I'm addicted to seeds too. I got more seeds than I could ever grow, and I continue to save them. I've got guava seeds over there. I've got papaya seeds over there. I've got nectarine seeds over there, and that's just from this week. I got mango seeds over there. I got a bunch of stuff, and then I've got tons of other seeds, all kinds of different varieties of stuff. So definitely, guys, if you're looking for seeds, if I've got it, I encourage you to get it from me. Not just because it's from me, but it'll help support the channel, and it supports veterans. Okay, I have a group called A Skill to Heal, and I help veterans with that money. So in the wintertime, when I start selling seeds in the fall and winter, let's say, veterans reach out to me and say, hey, I want to grow inside, but I don't have grow lights, or I don't have a pot, or I don't have a seeds, or whatever, right? I say, no problem. Tell me what you're looking to do. I'll buy it on Amazon. I'll send it to you. So that seed money helps veterans start to get into the growing, right? And then, of course, it does help me, because whenever I close down shop in the spring is when we say, okay, we're done. We've gave fertilizer out. We've gave seeds out, all that stuff. We're over. We're done. I got to focus on me now. Whatever's left, I take and we put towards growing here, which there's really hardly ever a lot left because I try to push it all toward the veterans. But that's what it's for. Skill to Heal, that's what it's for. So you're not just supporting me as a channel, but you're also supporting veterans when you buy seeds from me. So thank you guys for buying seeds from me. Really appreciate it. The only time that the money don't go to the Skill to Heal program is when I specifically say, this is my son's seed, or, Jay Cook's seed, whatever, if it's something my son grew, the money goes directly to him. So that's the only time that the money does not go to the Skill to Heal program or myself, is whenever it's from seeds that he has grown. Let's see here. Yeah, so it is kind of hard to deal with them, and psychologically, nobody wants to do that, right? I mean, but it's just it is a needed thing, and it's part of homesteading, but nobody wants to do it, right? Easiest way I found is just kind of take a rubber mallet, right? Put it on, lay them down on something firm, put a little bit of food there in front of them, let them peck the food, and pap. They don't know what happened. They're pecking food. They don't know what happened. All right. That's the easiest way to do it. So, that's just my opinion. Somebody else might have a better way, or mention the scissors. Well, I'm not doing scissors. Sorry. We're not doing scissors. Let me see here. Yeah. Anytime you want to swap seeds, I'm game for that, man. I love swapping seeds. Love getting new different seeds in and stuff like that. I like trying new things. Let's talk about that for just a second. We'll continue to go down through these comments. So for so long, and guys, if you don't care, please share the video, give me a thumbs up and stuff. But for so long, I was stuck in this. Okay, we grow banana peppers. We grow hot banana peppers. We grow tomatoes. We might grow some kind of an onion maybe, and we might grow a cabbage here and there. But the world was small, right? Because that's all that my grandparents and my daddy grew. Stuck to the same thing every year. Tomatoes, peppers, some onions, maybe some cabbage, whatever. Cucumbers, right? There was never a broadening of trying new things, right? Or finding zucchinis, right? We grew tons of zucchinis when we were kids. And then as I become and green beans, but then as I become an adult and I started looking, I was like amazed at all the different tomato varieties, just beautiful, gorgeous tomatoes that I'm like, who would have thought that there was a tomato that was green or black or red with a red bottomed and purple on top or whatever, right? There's so many different varieties. Yellow, bright yellow, like canary yellow, right? And I was just so amazed by that. And I was so amazed by the different pepper varieties because I was just thinking, oh, there's bell peppers, there's bananas, and there's hot bananas, and there's jalapenos, and that's it, right? But no, there's all these different peppers that are just wild, crazy, awesome, beautiful plants and fruit, right? And so I started to build on that, right? And then started going out from the tomatoes and the peppers to the different types of zucchinis and squashes, then to the different types of eggplants and cucumbers and melons. Man, there's so many different types of watermelons. It ain't even funny, right? And sunflowers and just the list goes on and on and on, right? But in my world as a kid growing up, it was this, it was just this. And whenever I found out there was all of this, it was game on, because I was like, I want to grow that, I want to grow that, I want to grow that, I want to grow that. Like it just never stopped. Now there are things that we find and we're like, I don't want to grow that anymore, right? And that's fine. But at least it was tried, right? But then there are things, and the majority of it is things that I have found and I thought, I love this. I can't tell you the last time I grew a Better Boy or a mortgage lifter. Well, I got 2 mortgage lifter plants out there right now, so I'll take that back. But some of your more conventional plants that you see at Rural King, Tractor Supply, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, your local nursery, right? I walk in there with stuff, that looks like, I'll go to the farmer's market or I'll sit up here in front of my house and people just stop and say, what is that? Something to eat. You want to try some? And they're like, what kind of tomato is this? I've never seen a black tomato. What's wrong with it? Nothing wrong with it. Here, take a bite, slice one up, let them eat it. Oh, wow. You could tell that their taste buds just exploded in their mouth and they're like, holy crap, where has this been all my life? And then they're like, hey, I'll buy all the tomatoes you got like that. Or can you sell me some plants, right? Next year, right? So it's always nice to be different, right? It's always nice to try different things, try new things, broaden your horizon, right? Your view or whatever, your growing capacity, grow new things, learn new things, right? Try new things. And you never know what's going to be the thing that's like, that's the one right there. That's what I'm looking for, right? There's still a tomato to this day that was grown when I was a kid. Still looking for it. It was, my dad got it one time. A guy by the name Bob Black gave him this tomato or tomato plants, and they were these huge, and I mean huge, like orangish yellow and red tomatoes, kind of like a Mr. Stripey or a big rainbow or a hillbilly, right? But I have tried several different tomatoes that look like that. None of them are it. None of them are it. Give them to my dad. I'll taste them like, I know I was a kid, but that ain't it. Give them to dad. That ain't it. Right? Or he can look at it and say, no, that ain't it. Right? So still looking for that tomato. How hard would it be? You would think to find a yellow with a pink center tomato, right? You wouldn't think it'd be hard, but it's very hard to find that one specific one because there's so many out there. And so again, that's why I like trading seeds. You get something different that you might not have had. I get something different I might not have had. And who knows what we're going to end up liking, right? So seed swapping is a lot of fun. Let's see here. Continuing on down through here. Yeah, I like long videos too. Absolutely. When they're useful and they're helpful, I like them. Absolutely. And some of them in 2021 was probably helpful. But again, where I was learning content, probably some of it could have been left out, but it was a learning curve. I'm still learning how to do YouTube. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just get on there and make videos. I don't know what I'm doing. Heck, I can't hardly edit the stuff. Let's see here. Was that if I'd be on what I did, a seed swap? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is very, very good for healing. Definitely. That's homesteading and gardening are two things that really help heal the mind, the emotional and spiritual part of it. It helps a ton. Love growing and love doing homesteading stuff. All right, so Brick. So if you want seeds, generally what I do is people can email me at babydrill2119@yahoo.com. I think if you go in my about, you'll be able to see that email address as well. Email me there, and just in the subject title put seeds, and I can get you a list of all the seeds and stuff, and you can buy them that way. Some of the seeds I do have listed online, like worldwidegiantgrowers.com, giantgrowing.com, I think is the other one, or giantgrowers.com. And then there's another one I got it listed on. I can't think of the name right now, but I do have them listed on there. They are significantly higher on the website because those websites take 30%, 40%, whatever. So they are higher to make the difference up. But I often run, deals. All right. For lack of better words, just deals on seeds where you send me $50 plus $5 shipping, and I'll fill up a 6-inch wide by 9-inch long bubble envelope, fill it full of seeds. I don't even, Lori could probably tell you how many seeds fit in that. I can't. It's a ton. I mean, I stuff it plumb full of seeds, different bean seeds, different tomato seeds, and all my giant seeds, everything I can get in it. I stuff it full, and I'll mail it to you for $50. So I run deals like that. There's just different deals that I run throughout the year, different, promotions, whatever you want to call it. I always try to be the lowest person in giant growing. There might be some people who don't like that and don't agree with it, and that's okay. It's not their seeds, it's my seeds. I grew it. I'll do what I want with it. But I have caught a lot of flack for selling my seeds subpar, I guess you could say, way below what there's guys out there that'll charge you $50 for one seed, right? I'll sell you 2 of them for that, right? And usually when I give it to you, there end up being like 4 or 5 in the pack, right? So, I mean, you got that. I always stuff it with more, like, so if a seed says, you're going to get 2 seeds out of it, there's generally 4 or 5. If it says you're going to get 10, you usually get 15 or 20. I'm not a stickler for that stuff. I just got to put an amount, right? Like however many seeds, right? And I always give more. So, there's you catch a lot of flack for it, but it is what it is. I ain't really worried about it. But like I said, I run deals and all that stuff on there. So yeah, just hit me up on my email address, or you can hit me up on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. We have a Facebook page as well. See here. Yeah, thanks, 7 Ken Homestead. Hey man, you need to reach out to me. Did Monica get you my stuff, my phone number and everything? Monica Bland get you all that stuff? I think I don't remember if I emailed you or not. I think I tried to. If I didn't, I can't remember. I got a horrible memory. But get with me because I'd like to have you guys on, 7 Ken Homestead. Eric, I don't know if it was a pineapple tomato or not. I've looked at the pineapples, like the Ananias Nor is a pineapple. And, they have another pineapple that, it's like what you're saying. The yellow with the pink center. I'm not sure. I would have to literally probably taste it. Excuse me, or grow it and let my dad look at it because my dad, he remembers it pretty well. And there's some of them that look similar to it, but we just it's just not it. It does not have that flavor. Maybe it was just where we grew it at. Maybe I don't know, but sometimes where you grow it at gives things different flavors. So baby giants. I got a ton more new seeds coming out hopefully this year, Lori. Tons more if they make it. That windstorm yesterday, oh God, that was sickening. That made me sick to my stomach. I mean, it was like somebody hauled off and kicked me between the legs. I mean, I got sick. just watching everything. It was like a train wreck. What are you going to do? You can't do anything. You just sit there and watch it, right? Just boom, knock everything down. It just makes you want to put a dome over everything, right? Of course, then you would have problems as well. You're putting a dome over it. So, yeah. You can do that. Yeah, you can email me about the seeds too. Yep, absolutely. Speak Life. 22 packs. There y'all go. 22 packs was in there. That's a lot of seeds, y'all, for $50. I don't know if y'all have tried to buy 22 packs from Baker Creek or Johnny Seed or anywhere, but you ain't gonna get 22 packs of seeds for $50 plus $5 shipping. I guarantee you that. So shipping on Baker Creek seeds when I buy them, I think. Don't quote me on this, but I think whenever I buy seeds from Baker Creek, I generally buy them like 30 to 40 packs of seeds at a time, and it's like 10 or $15 or something like that, I think. So I can't remember. My wife, I just pick them out. My wife pays for them. So you see what the difference, huh? Yeah, I hope so. I hope y'all can see a difference. That's great. I love that. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that. Yeah. Hey, Seven Ken, just email me at babydrill2119@yahoo.com. Babydrill, BABYDRILL 2119@yahoo.com. Email me, put live stream in the subject title so I know, and we'll get you hooked up with a date, man, for sure. Yeah, I liked when you were on their live stream. Love to have you on here. And guys, that's the same for any of you guys. Any of y'all in the chat, y'all want to come on my channel and be on the live stream? Email me, same email address. Email me, put live stream in the subject title. We'll get you hooked up with a date. Oh, I love sunflowers. I love sunflowers. Unfortunately, my sunflowers all season long have did nothing but take a beating or didn't come up. What's so bad? I don't understand it. I tilled that all up, got it prepped and ready to plant seeds in it, right? And sunflowers from last year just popped up all everywhere. I mean, just everywhere, thick as thick as hair on a dog's back, right? I ripped those out so I could plant specific ones in there, right? In lines, trying to make a pattern to make it look like a mandala so I could take my drone above it and take a picture from above down and have this mandala looking picture made out of sunflowers. None of them sprouted. Well, some of them sprouted, but probably 98% of them didn't take off. I don't know why. I don't know if it wasn't hot enough when I planted them. I don't know if it got too dry. I don't know, or maybe the soil. I don't know what happened. It didn't work out. We'll just put it that way. And so I had to go back and replant it. I went back and replanted, and they're all coming up now, right? And the wind yesterday come through them. So we'll see if they straighten back up or not. But it's probably too late to get anything of any substantial size. So we'll see. We'll see what we get. Probably won't get much, and it's just been cold. It's been cold, 40s and 50s at night, and you can't grow in that kind of weather. It's springtime weather. Yeah, the storms, man, I'm telling you, they're horrible. They're horrible when they come through like that, and just they wreck everything. I mean, everything. All right, you guys, are y'all ready for my email address again? I'll give it to you again. Just let me know if y'all's ready for it. Going down through here, checking all the rest of these. All right, we're at the bottom. So, everybody ready? I'll give it to you again. Baby Drill, BABYDRILL 2119@yahoo.com. All right, that is my email address. You can email me. If you're wanting to come on the live stream, put live stream. If you're wanting to get seeds, put seeds in the subject titles. Okay, guys? That way I know who it is and what you're wanting. and stuff because me and my wife share that account. I've had that account since I was in Iraq. The reason why it's called Baby Drill is because whenever I was in boot camp, they nicknamed me Baby Drill. That was the nickname, was Baby Drill for Baby Drill Sergeant, because I went to military school. And so all these guys was fresh off the boat, I guess you could say. You know, they were just coming in. They didn't know nothing about nothing. And, you know, I'd done been in military school, so I knew what to do, how to act, you know, whatever. And, you know, we're there at boot camp, and it was like the second day. The drill sergeant, like, who can call cadence? And you got these guys that had been like messing around at the recruiter's office and thought they knew how to do it, right? So they're all raising their hand and stuff. I didn't want to fool with it. I didn't want no part of it because I didn't want nothing to do. I didn't want nobody to know my name. I just wanted to get through boot camp and get out of there, right? And so they would call them up, and they would get left, right, out, and then the drill sergeant would smack them in the back of the head and fall back in, you know, and they'd run back in formation because they just messed it up. They was ate up from the floor up, man. They was ate up like a soup sandwich. And so we were coming around the corner, and he just stopped everybody. He said, "Is there not one person here who can call cadence properly?" And I'm thinking he's getting ready to smoke us. And if you don't know what smoke us means, that means he's getting ready to make us do PT, and it's going to be a miserable time. And I just want to go eat, okay? Because we're marching to the chow hall. It's late. I'm hungry. I want to go eat, right? I can call cadence. Get up here. I'm marching to the chow hall. Got him there. Got him filed in. Drill sergeant, when I went to go through the door, he boom, hits me in the chest. Where'd you learn to do that at? Oh, I went to military school, drill sergeant. Rest of the time, you marched the entire company. Exactly why I didn't want to raise my hand. Didn't want to march him everywhere. So for 8 weeks, I marched my platoon. And if the company went somewhere, I marched the entire company. But I will say this. When my mom and my grandmother came to the graduation for boot camp, Drill Sergeant Garcia and Drill Sergeant Brown both stopped them and said, "Your son, your grandson, is the best soldier we've ever had come through since we've been, drill sergeants." So I took some pride in that, and knowing that they really respected me and stuff, and that was pretty cool. But the name came from that. And what I had done is, see, you can't touch a drill sergeant's brown round, right? So their brown round is that, I don't know if you guys in your states have state troopers who wear those round hats, right? Kind of like Mounties up in Canada, right? So they have what they call it the brown round, right? And you cannot touch that brown round. And they'll come and they'll take the brim of that hat and they'll poke you in the forehead with it. I mean, like you're like daggone Woody the Woodpecker, man, right in the daggone forehead. It's aggravating. And so anyhow, I snuck into the drill sergeant's office and I took the brown round and I put my class A's on, right? And here I got a PV2 stripe, right? And I put the brown round on with a PV2 stripe, class A's on, go to the bathroom. And we were allowed to have disposable cameras toward the end of like I think maybe week 5 or something like that. We could have like little disposable cameras or whatever. So anyway, I took the disposable camera and we went in the latrine, and I had that brown round on, and I posed just like Drill Sergeant Garcia and Drill Sergeant Brown was, because they had pictures in the front of the company of all the drill sergeants, from the senior drill sergeant all the way down to the assistant drill sergeants of each platoon. And they're all, kind of half cocked like this, showing their rank, showing their tabs, showing their chest full of ribbons. And they got that hat, and they're looking dead at the camera like this. They're kind of cocked back toward their shoulder. And so I took a picture like that. And so then they all started calling me Baby Drill. And so I needed an email address when I got in Korea or Iraq one. It may have been right before. It might have been while I was in Korea getting ready to go to Iraq. and they were, some of them had been with me since boot camp. And so baby drill had kind of stuck. And the only thing I could really, think to remember was baby drill. Right. And so I used baby drill as the name of the account. So yeah, that's a little story, but it was a lot of fun. We had tons of fun back whenever I was in the Army. I loved it. It was fun. I was drum major in band. Make the file under where they were smashed. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, I can see. Luckily I didn't do that, but man, we were out there. So when I was in military school, I had went to the invitationals, is what they called it, and I was on the drill team, I was on the volleyball team, and the basketball team, and so we had to learn how to do drill with weapons, plastic M16s, and we learned a lot of that stuff, but we all had to take turns going through the rotation of calling cadence and marching them, right? And man, they did this counter column to the left or whatever, right? And I mean, they just wiped out. I don't even know what one guy said. He thought I said right, a counter column to the right, and the other one thought, the rest of them heard left, and the whole line behind the guy that went right just followed the guy in the front, and so that was kind of funny. But needless to say, I did not march them at the invitationals. Thank God. I didn't want that job either. I was happy with just being in there, just doing my thing, and I never wanted to be a leader of anything. I don't want no fingers pointing at me, because here's the problem. When you're a leader, nobody takes responsibility for their own actions. And so it's always finger pointing back to the leader. Now, you can have the strongest leadership in the world, and everybody that messes up will not. There's some that will. Some will take responsibility for their own actions, right? But the majority of people out there, they want everybody else to be the leader because they want a finger to point to of why they messed up, right? And so I knew that being young, and I never wanted to be a leader because I didn't want everybody pointing the finger at me saying I was the reason why they messed up or whatever. So yeah, I just I always declined being leader of anything, because I ended up being a leader in the Army, but not by choice, just by rank, right? Oh, well, you're this rank and you're the highest one, so you got the job. Thanks. Right? So yeah, they did. They just followed each other. It's kind of like in airborne school. We went jumping out of planes. I'm telling you this now, if they would have ever put me in the door when I was jumping out of a plane, if they would have ever said you're first man out, I'd have never jumped out of the first plane. Never. Not even after I had jumped all those jumps. I'd have never jumped out of the plane first. It was easier to just run behind the guy with the static line in there, hand it off to the daggone black hat or the daggone jump master, and pivot and fall out the door than it ever was having to stand there waiting on the green light for them to say go. No, I'm sitting there looking at the ground, looking down at the ground. I'd have never been able to do it. They'd have had to kick me out because I'd have never went out. Awesome. Yep, go get you some food and have a great night, man. And yeah, give me a holler. I'll see you later, man. Yep, everything is on a leader. Everything. So just part of life, I reckon. But yeah, so finish this up. We'll talk about the garden real quick. So the garden, went out there today, tried to do something with it. I mean, it's in shambles. You know, there's not really much you can say. The pumpkin vines, some of them were lifted up and broke the roots off on the bottom of the vines, and then they were twisted, you know, like literally twisted, and so that kind of put cracks all along the vines and stuff. Not sure if I should cut them off, those ones off, or try to let them heal and maybe reroot or whatever. I don't know. I don't think that we're going to have massive pumpkins this year. I could be wrong. We could end up with some, you know, 1,400 pounders. I don't know, but if I'm guessing, I'm going to say we're not going to end up with massive fruit this year. It's just been so cold, too many storms. That one yesterday was just kind of like the last straw for some of them. So, I mean, it is what it is. Will we have records? Absolutely. We're going to have records, and we're going to have new records. All right. Looking for some new zucchini records, state records. Looking for hopefully a U.S. record. Now, I have to hit like 86 pounds or something like that for a U.S. record for the rutabaga. I think it could do it if everything goes right and well. I might be able to get there. I really do think we could. It's kind of contingent upon several things. Now, I got a video that I'm going to have to release here pretty soon. We had one go down yesterday. We had a rutabaga that unfortunately went down. I don't know why it went down. It had everything it needed. It was getting fed boron to save it from that center rot root, because I learned last year they needed a lot of boron to kind of keep it from doing that. And this one's still done it. Now, it kind of got me on edge, and I almost went and pulled all the rest of them. I've got 3 other ones. I almost went and pulled the rest of them. And because, I mean, it just went down. Like last week, it was losing leaves pretty fast. They were turning yellow and just dropping off. And I was like, something's wrong here. I was like, either it's done growing or it's just too hot, right? I should have heeded that warning and kind of paid more attention, and I didn't. So that's my fault. I could have waited in and probably would. I mean, it was a new state record. It was. It would have been a big state record had I caught it last week and not let rot and half of it stayed in the ground. It was over 23 pounds yesterday when I weighed it. You'll get to see that video. Hopefully, as soon as this is done, I'll drop that video or try to anyhow. But yeah, it was nice. It was a nice rutabaga. You'll get to see which one it was. I'm not going to tell y'all which one it was, but you'll get to see, and you'll get to see which ones are still around, or you'll know which ones are still around. We did pick a cabbage today. That cabbage is the new state record for West Virginia, but we do have one more growing that's bigger than that right here at the side in the front of the house here. Actually, it's right out this window to me. I thought it's bigger. Now, whether it will be denser or not, now that's to be seen. You can tell that a cabbage is ready to be picked by how dense the head is, how firm the head is, right? The one that we picked today out of the raised bed was very, very firm, very, very hard to cut off, and it was ready to go. And so it is the new state record. So that is our 14th state record. We have 2 for the rhubarb this year, 1 for the leaf size, 1 for the stalk weight. All right. So that made 12 and 13. And then this one makes 14. The cabbage makes 14. But again, if this cabbage out here makes it, that'll probably end up being the state record if it's as big as what it seems to be. The other records that we will have, probably will have a new rutabaga record, provided no more succumb to this center root rot. Going to be very, very vigilant on that. Now, once it starts, there's nothing I can do to stop it. It's just, so you kind of playing with fire, right? You're like, do I pick it? Do I leave it? Do I pick it? Do I leave it? You start seeing those leaves like I did last week, I would say it's probably too late. All right. So we'll just see, how that turns out. I'm not sure. Yeah, it did. It blew so hard that it broke the roots off of the bottom of the vines and twisted them around. It was crazy. Um, so we'll have that record. I'm hoping for some other records. We'll see what happens. We'll see what materializes. The weather has just been so bad that I'm not sure we're going to have very many more. Looking for an okra record, looking for several other records, cantaloupes, cucumbers, those things, tomatoes, maybe we might have. We got a pretty good shot. We got probably the best looking giant tomatoes I've ever had. All right, since I've been growing giant tomatoes since 2021. So these are the best ones we've had. So there are some things coming along. I've got some giant sunflower seeds out there growing, but will they make it to the end of the season? I don't know. They're in the smart pots. They got a great chance at being able to do something, but I don't know. Long beans and broad beans, we got some chances with those, at getting some records off of those. Maybe some other records. Don't want to give it away. One of our giant carrots yesterday as well. It went down, one of the biggest ones that we had. So that went down yesterday. Again, center root rot. It didn't seem like center root rot because the entire bottom half was fine. Just the top half just died for no reason. I mean, just like that. So frustrating, very frustrating. Hopefully we'll have maybe another heavy carrot. I've got that record's mine anyway, so it'd be my record broke. And maybe the long carrot. Maybe we'll have a nice long carrot. We're hoping. Also might have the giant red cabbage record as well. So we'll have to see about that. And there might be some other ones that we'll get to pick. We'll just have to see. But there will be some. There won't be as many as I was hoping because, guys, it's been a very, very, very tough, hard season. So we're just going to have to kind of sit back and wait and see what finishes out this year. But guys, I really appreciate you guys coming in, joining me for this evening for this live stream. It's been a good, fun time. Sorry that we didn't have our guest. I don't know what happened. Things happen. Maybe she had a storm like we had a storm. The carrot is, I think 4 pounds, 7.2. Hey, Jaden, go over on the wall where the records are at, and under carrot, read the weight.
Carrot?
Yeah.
Like carrot, like an orange carrot that you eat?
Yes, Jaden. It's the only carrot that's going to be on my records. And we might have an eggplant if we can get them to do something. We might have an eggplant. But I don't know. They're not looking too promising either. So it seems like everything's just kind of in a state. Like don't want to really grow. We're
71 pounds.
Huh?
4.71 pounds.
4 pounds, 0.71 ounces is the state record now for the carrot. Thanks, Bo. So yeah, it's been real nice talking with all you guys. Again, if you don't care, share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We appreciate every one of you guys joining us this evening. And let's go on ahead real quick. We'll tell you who we're supposed to have next week. And hopefully we won't have another breakup in this. All right, so August 15th is going to be Tony from Wakefield Biochar. He'll be in here talking to us next week about biochar. They are a sponsor of the channel. We use their biochar. We talked about that last week pretty extensively about biochar, so check out last week's episode with Enoch Graham, the urban gardener. Had a great time with him. He'll be back on soon. August 22nd, we have Ange Fierro Fanning Homestead, which is Angie Fierro Fanning Homestead. We have her. Great Instagram personality. Go check her out on Instagram. August 29th, we have Nathan and Carmen from Jesus Loving Homestead. Can't wait to get them guys on. They're going to be great. Really, really good people. Love their stuff. September 5th, we have Nicole Smith gardening. She's going to be on with us September 5th. That's going to be fun. September 12th, we have Chase from Trophy Smack going to be on. They're the ones that have the belt for the giant pumpkin competition, right? The YouTube giant pumpkin challenge, right? So they're the ones that sponsored us with the belt. September 19th, we have Sandy from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona coming on. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to have her back on. She's been great. She was great when she was on here. Go check that live stream out as well. September 26th, we're going to have Randall from Extreme Gardening and Travis Ginger back on. We're going to go over our season, how our season went, how the pumpkins went, etc. Now, the season won't be over completely. We'll still have a couple weeks left of growing, around September 26th. So, but we'll be wrapping up the season for the most part. October 3rd, we have Yogi Hollow Farm. Lisa's going to be on with us from Yogi Hollow Farm. Go check her out. Great channel. Love her Instagram stuff as well. So, absolutely check out Yogi Hollow Farm. October 11th. October 10th is Tuesday. All right. But I will be traveling. That is the state fair for North Carolina. God willing, and the creek don't rise, we're going to try to take something down there to the North Carolina State Fair. Maybe, possibly. We'll see. I don't know anything right now. It's the way things are going right now. But either way, we're going to be on vacation, okay, because that's vacation time. But I messed up, and I scheduled somebody for the 10th. And I asked him if they could, bump it over to the 11th because we'll be traveling on the 10th. He has a live stream on Tuesdays anyhow, so he said, yeah, that's fine. So October the 11th on a Wednesday, I will be South Carolina. They will Kettle Kitchen, Tony from Kettle Kitchen will be on with us on Wednesday, the October the 11th. All right, so mark your calendar down for that. Kettle Kitchen, Tony from Kettle Kitchen will be with us on October the 11th. The 17th of October, 24th, and 31st are open. If any of you guys want on there, email me, babydrill2119yahoo.com. 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th of November are open. If you want in, message me. Again, babydrill2119@yahoo.com. December 5th, we have Enoch Graham, the urban gardener, coming back on with us. Can't wait to dive in, get deeper into what we were talking about last week with him, December 5th. It's going to be a lot of fun. We should have some pretty cool things going on by then. Cool weather crops and stuff should be growing or harvesting by then. So hopefully we'll see what's transpiring with him and with us December 5th. The 12th, the 29th, and the 26th is all open. So if you want in, great. Might not be too many people who are going to want to be on the 26th, the day after Christmas. But if you do, love to have you. If not, we'll just talk about the year, right? And moving on into 2024. So guys, from the hollers and hills of West Virginia, this has been a great time. Sorry again that we didn't have our guest, but we will be back next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our guest, Tony from Wakefield Biochar. Please be sure to come in and talk with us and learn about biochar next week. And guys, we appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time right here, the hollers and hills of West Virginia. Night, y'all. That was a very big carrot. And that's very good, Robert, on that 17-inch tomato. That is no small feat. No small feat. All right, y'all. See y'all.